Good morning, meteorologist Tony Nargi here with you on this Tuesday morning, and here's a look at how our temperatures shape up today. Cooler than average for most of us. We'll have a lake breeze in effect. We'll also be fairly warm once you get further south and west towards Pine City and Aiken, where they'll be running closer to average in the upper 70s. Then cooling off tonight, and then tomorrow's fairly seasonable across the board. A little bit of a lake breeze, but looking like lower to mid 70s for almost the entirety of the region. A little bit cooler out on the UP and near Watersmeet. So we do have some air quality concerns. This plume of smoke is going to drop down into Minnesota. However, you'll notice it stays west of Duluth, and it's mainly west of the Arrowhead as well. So most of the areas east of Itasca County are actually going to have fairly decent air quality today, and even good air quality once you get along the North Shore. And then it's moderate once you get to Itasca, as well as Coochin County and near Hibbing. And then Bemidji and points west has the orange, or the unhealthy for sensitive groups type of air quality. And then tomorrow looking like moderate air quality for many of us except for points along the North Shore and west. So that's where we're going to have some air quality concerns. We're also going to have some warmer weather in store coming up later this week. This cold front is going to continue dropping south, and then we're going to have high pressure building up to our north here, and that's going to become a fairly strong high pressure system and move to our east. And so that's important because when these large high pressure systems have this large area of circulation, they can really bring some warm air up from the southern portions of the continental United States. And you can see here it is then associated with this low pressure system that moves off to our west. So it's kind of a double whammy. And we're just advecting lots of warm air from the South and Gulf of Mexico states. So we'll be hot here coming into Labor Day weekend. How hot? Well, we're talking upper 70s on Thursday, which isn't too much above average. But then once we get into Friday, you'll see we're in the 80s across the region. And then Saturday, we're even hotter into the mid and upper 80s for many of us. And then this is just a model run, but looking at the GFS, the American model wants to bring 90s into our region on Sunday. I don't think that'll happen, but I think we'll get close to 90 in the Twin Ports region. I think many of us away from Lake Superior will see 90s as well. We're also tracking Hurricane Idalia. So this is expected to be a major hurricane down all the way near Tampa Bay, Florida. So if you have relatives living there, make sure they're prepared. Make sure they're aware, because Category 3 hurricane means 120 mile per hour sustained winds coming on shore. So be very aware, make sure they're in contact with their emergency management officials down there in Florida. Also, State Fair still going on today, going to be 80 degrees in Minneapolis and sunny skies. So beautiful day to get out and see the State Fair. In our neck of the woods, a little bit cooler, upper 60s for most of us. Once you get further south and west near Aiken and Hinckley, that's where you're talking mid 70s, so a nice day out there. And then same thing on the Wisconsin side of things, Spooner, Siren, south and west, warmer, but then Washburn, Ashland, Ironwood, Mercer, all struggling to get out of the 60s, as well as some fog out there this morning. Then cooling off a lot tonight, getting into the 40s for most of us. Similar story on the Minnesota side of things. 40s for most of us, and it should be light winds, so I do expect some fog in some of those low-lying areas. So here's a look at how we shape up today. Partly cloudy skies and cooler, but then you'll notice the trend as we go on throughout the week, warming up all the way into Sunday and Labor Day. So going to be a nice weekend ahead.